We'll start with a small prayer. Gently close your eyes. Keep your neck back erect, spine relaxed, mind totally engrossed towards the inner being. Follow your breath, which is now very mild, subtle, yet deep. We chant three Omkaras together to gain in more awareness, more subtleness in our awareness. Inhale. Om. 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 Just listen to the shloka. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Ambat Tvamanusandadami Bhagavan Gite Bhavadveshini. Simple palming, gently with a few blinks. Open your eyes. So in the previous verses, we've been learning Nanu Shochitumarhasi. Krishna had given us a powerful lesson. We have no right to lament. We have no right to cry over or worry about, because there is nothing that we have to worry. Now, he is giving other set of reasons why shouldn't we worry by not saying it. 2.28 Avyaktadini bhutani Avyaktadini bhutani Vyaktamadhyani bharata Vyaktamadhyani bharata Avyaktanidhananyeva Avyaktanidhananyeva Tatra ka paridevana Tatra ka paridevana. O Bharata. Bharata means one who is born in this land called Bharat. It happens to be that he is not only talking to Bharata, Arjuna, not only talking to all Indians, but now to some Romanians too. Avyaktadini bhutani. The entire beings that we see in this universe have an origin. What is it? What is the origin? The origin of all beings is something called as avyakta. It's a Sanskrit term. We'll get used to what it is. Avyakta, in the literal sense, means the unmanifested. Oh, do you mean to say it is divine? It has no manifestations? Do you mean to say it is God, which has no form or attributes or something? Certainly not. The unmanifested means the Jada Prakriti. Oh, another term comes. Oof, Lalita, terms after terminology, jargons after jargons. There's this philosophy called Sankhya, which is supposed to be the father of yoga philosophy. Which talks about this Jada Prakriti quite a bit. It also immaculately, elaborately talks about creation. In it, Kapila Vasudeva, the propounder of the philosophy, explains how the entire universe is in a form of seed, without any form, without any name. It is completely without any quality inside, but having all that in abundance in it. And he calls this as universe itself. The what do you call the jada? Jada means that which has no life in it. Inert, inert prakriti, inert universe. He says neither the divine nor the consciousness, Purusha, has any kind of intervention in the form of creation, in the Srishti, in the universe. Like in other religions, we see God created universe, he dispels. This is not seen here. Creation happens on its own by this inert prakriti, inert universe. Some form of, like what we have as vata, pitta, dosha imbalances in us. Inert prakriti has this imbalance of sattva, rajas, tamas in it, and then slowly creation happens. From Abhyakta comes universal intelligence, Mahat. From Mahat comes Chitta, the mind. And then comes Pancha Mahabhuta, the five elements. Pancha Tanmatra, the qualities of five elements. Pancha Jnanendriya, five sense organs. Pancha Karmendriya, five organs of actions. So deep is the concept. Now we are not going there about creation here, but to just have a closer look of what inert universe is. Like, for example, if you're leaving one place to another, okay, what do? You take all your belongings, your things, at least one packet of milk because you need something, because you need to have coffee, you need to have, oh, you're not milk coffee drinkers. uh, we have this, we Indians have this attitude. Take some amount of curd so that we can curdle, make the yogurt at home. All small things. Even in travel, we take all the miniature shampoo, conditioners, moisturizing creams, and small ones. Similarly, this inert Prakriti, the inert universe, has cat in its seeded form, has king in its seeded form, has amoeba in its seeded form, has banyan tree in its seeded form. And now do you understand? So we have all come up from that unmanifested, seeded universe. Yeah. How is that I'm not banyan tree? I am Lalita. Because it is all decided with our previous karma that we have discussed at length with the previous shlokas. How my wisdom would have been in the previous janma, how my karma would have been in the previous janma. That is how I get the next life. But the seeds are already done. Hence, when I'm born, I cry. I cry because I know when I cry, is some secretion happens from my mom and the discomfort in my abdomen is removed. Who taught me? This is hunger, you have to cry. Only when you cry, the mother's milk is secreted. Who taught me? Nobody. It's all seeded. So we have come from the seeded Prakriti. So the beginning is from Avyakta. Where do we go? It is but natural. Where do we go? When the forms are done, what we call as demise, we go back to this same unmanifested seeded form, which is absolute. No manifestations, no projections, nothing. Krishna is saying the beginning is unmanifested, the end is unmanifested. What is that you see in between is full of forms and names called manifestations, projections, call it whatever name you want to. While only the middle, only in the middle seems to be real, why do you have to worry about it? Tatra ka paridevana. Why do you have to lament about it? Very simple. I used to give this example to the young master degree students, 20-year-olds. They don't understand an unmanifested, manifested kind of things. It's all word jugglery for them. Imagine yourself to be a bubble in a water bucket. Okay. Soapy water bucket. And then the brown bubble sees the pink bubble to be large, beautiful, staying a longer time and with a better color, and then gets jealous of it. Eventually, the pink bubble is also diminishing, moves back as water, and then brown too. What is there to worry when we are all water surface? When we are all nothing but that water? Where is the difference in the color, in the size, in the time that we stay? No. If we see the difference, we are ignorant. Right? This is how simply I give an analogy for unmanifested and manifested thing. We'll go a bit more about this thing, about knowing what is only in the middle. What do we know in this middle life, that it's not midlife crisis that that is trending, but that the life in the middle that we have got, life full of forms and names. Let us just put our minds, brains into it and brainstorm about it a bit more. What do we know about this? What do you know about yourself? Do you have any memory of being an infant? You hear stories from your mother. You really do not have those memories. Your doctor who took you out of the embryonic stage to a big beautiful baby, knows you better. Again, say stories. When you came out, this was what you were doing. You didn't have any memory. Forget that. What do you know about your body? Have you ever seen your back? Have you ever seen your liver, kidney? There is so much in this life that you do not know. Even with your good, powerful mind, intellect, and your indriyas, so-called skillful eyes, skillful ears, skin, lustrous skin, whatever. Whatever that you grasp is again finite, limited. You do not know anything about. So you do not know what is happening in the beginning. You will eventually not know what will happen after the physical form's death. What is that you know right now, right here is very limited. On these limited things, why do we have to crib? That's the question. Crib was the right word. Tatraka paridevana. Why do we have to crib? Cribbing God. Why me? Cribbing ourselves. Why did I do it? That's even worse, an emotion, I should say. Guilt. No? When in Ramayana, Bharata, the most respectful, the most loyal, the most righteous brother, comes up to meet Rama, who had just left the kingdom because of the promise of his father, and he has to keep it and set an example for the entire society. Not only for that, to have a good livelihood, he is in the path of righteousness and he left the kingdom. Bharata has to take up the kingdom. That's how it was in the vow taken by the mother. Bharata didn't accept. He wanted to see. So he, as and when he finishes the what do you call it, funeral rites, crematorium rituals, he leaves Ayodhya, the city, and goes to Rama, in search of Rama in the jungle. At one point, he meets and then cries like anything, cries on his feet. Why me? Why on all earth it is happening to me? The most lovable, I'm so faithful to you. The most righteous thing is that you hold up the kingdom. You're well deserving. Why me? Why am I born to this cruel Kaikeyi, my mother? No, all these questions, all these lamenting. You know what Rama answers? Atmanam Manushochatvam. Why are you worrying about me all the time? Why don't you think, why am I not realized myself until now? Why don't you worry in that line? Why am I still in the shackles of names and forms? That one statement made Bharata quiet. Vedanta solves all the problem like this. Like this. Krishna says, Arjuna, only I exist. It is not like I exist, that only God, I am the God alone exists. No, not like that. Not like that. He says, Arjuna, only I exist, not you, not Arjuna, not Krishna, these warriors that you see. It is only I exist. That only one exists. Do you mean to say one powerful God? No, my dear. It is you, your pure consciousness of being existing exists. Right before the unmanifested Prakriti, it existed. During creation, it existed. After creation, all these years, it exists. Even after apocalypses, after physical deaths, it exists. It will exist. What is that pure awareness or existence that you're talking about? Is it this process of a mind? Do I have to close my eyes and see I exist, I exist? I have to mentally reiterate this existential awareness? Sorry. It is complete dissolution of your mind and the innate, illumined self revealing itself. Let me put it in more legible manner. I don't know how far it would be, how far I would be able to justify this in explaining, but still. When you abide by self, you will wither away all the bodily awareness, the mental awareness, the awareness of being a powerful, intelligent fellow. It all withers away like the autumnal leaves on its own. Pure existence alone remains. It cannot be mind. It cannot be a mental activity. How is this practiced? It is practiced only through inward moving, introspection. Whenever you take a decision, introspect. Am I deciding with a bodily awareness? Am I deciding with an intellectual discernment of this particular thing is going to do more good to me? Because everything, when you're in the you form, I have to be more accurate in talking this. See, this is I, this is I. And there is something called you. Yeah. So when there is you, it is always grasped by your mind, your senses, your brain, right? How do you perceive I? Only when you're before mirror? No. So when there is one, there is no thought. When the you comes, when the form comes, when name comes, there arises problem, there arises thought. Like, for example, you can't be jealous with yourself. You can't be feeling miserable about being yourself. That would be a triggered activity when there is a you coming up. You understand what I'm saying? Could you follow? Abiding by self is that which is inconceivable by your mind, by your indriyas, by your sense organs, by your by looking inwards and aligning yourself at the heart center. I'm not talking about chakra, dear. I'm not talking about the chakra. By aligning yourself in the center, which means dropping up of bodily awareness, dropping off mental awareness. Align yourself in the center, there is pure awareness. What happens when we are awake? We can see our body, like in this Zoom meeting, I can see myself. Huh? What happens when we are dreaming? I again see myself running, fighting some villains, becoming the heroine of the story. Because it's my story. I again see myself. I can see my body, my mind working, my arms fierceful. What happens when we are in deep sleep? Where is your body? Where is your mind? This is something called the unmanifested that we go through every day. It is called Nitya Pralaya, the everyday apocalypse, making us ready, saying that the body, mind is all dissolvable, all dissolvable. Mandukya Karika, Gaudapadacharya, the master of the master of Adi Shankaracharya, says that which comes and goes, that which appears and disappears, that which has no existence in the beginning, no existence in the end, only in the middle it seems to be appearing. How can it be true? Krishna is making this more serious. Look, you are only appearances, like that white bubble, pink bubble, brown bubble, born in Italy, born in India, born in Romania, Czechoslovakia. Eventually, we're all that divine speck of consciousness. So, what do we have to do in this middle life? Is this big crisis, midlife crisis? That which we see in this middle as life, work toward the peace, work toward living peacefully by abiding in that self, keeping that wisdom strong. What will happen if I remain fool? I was foolish all the time. All my 80 years, I was like this. Why should I change my life? Why should I change my perception? Good. There's nothing wrong. You will again get an opportunity. You will again get a life. Nice, I'm ready for it. And I'm not sure which one. You can't choose. Okay, if this is this serious, what do I have to do? Next step when you think. Next step when you do. Next step when you speak. Be aware that you are at the center. Pratibodha viditam matam amrtatvam miha vindate. Kathopanishad. Every second of now, you are aware of that consciousness. You are immortal. You are immortal. You can win over death. Death is just happening to the bubble. Water is still lying there. Nobody's toppling the bucket down. Tatraka paridevana. Why do we have to cry? Why do we have to lament? I ask many people, what is Krishna's teaching? Is he teaching that, okay, do this particular kind of meditation every day, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting up before sunrise, and this is the powerful mantra that I give, and you're going to recite that mantra, you're going to learn, imbibe the meaning. He's asking one simple thing: live peacefully. What is so wrong? I can live peacefully by throwing out my parents, by dishonoring each and every individual in my society. I can live peacefully. Is it peace? Mhm. Then the code of ethics coming up, dharma. Matrudevo bhava, pitrudevo bhava. It so happens in the testaments, the first command is to respect, honor the elders, honor the parents. It's the same thing in the Upanishads. By honoring, respecting each and every individual, start from your family network, forget society. That's the smallest unit that you can work upon. When you could do that, you will eventually find yourself in others. Basically, being empathetic, putting others before you. Why should I kill myself? Like, it's not killing, my dear. This is the art of living peaceful. Not killing, not by killing yourself. It is not any thrust or pressure. It is out of love that we do. It comes from within. I remember a woman saying that it had happened from within. It's a divine message from within. And I acted accordingly. It happens. Although you're not expected to do so, you do it. But that is the right thing. That is how you live peaceful. You're not doing it for others, justifying. This is how I am, I'm good. No, no. You do it for yourself. You can live peacefully. There happened a story where a life incident where a woman was narrating her own story, saying that I said no to my sister coming to my visiting my house because I didn't want any nuisance. But since then, my abdomen seems to be not working well. There's a stomach upset. Listen to your clues. That's your cue. It is a no from your mouth, but your body is giving different signals. If the no was right, you will be all fine. You should have been fine. Yeah, definitely it was a non-rightful thing. How do I put it? I can't say it is wrong. Definitely it should have been a non-rightful thing to do. Hence, the body is showing, the mind is showing. This is the art of peaceful living, being empathetic. What is peace? Do you even feel your head? No. Imagine when you have a headache. You will feel nothing but your head all the time. All 24. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. It is so heavy. Now it started dripping down to the back of the neck and ear. Is this peaceful living? No. When you're not aware of your body, that is peaceful living. Coming back to the same statement, see? When you're not aware how your mind is working, you're so constructively engaging yourself, engrossed in the work that you do, you're enjoying the work, you're not even aware of your mind. Again, peaceful living. Aarti was asking Could you take some rest, ma'am? Because she knows how I was engrossed in the day's job from the morning, since the morning. I didn't, Aarti. I couldn't rest. I was sleepy. But right now, you ask me, I'm so engrossed. There's no sleepiness, no sleepy head now. Minutes ago, it was like, oh, how am I going to take the lecture? Hmm? So when you are aligned in the center, you are at peace. When you're aware of your body, when you're informed that yes, my body was working so many hours, it needs rest. All these information about your bodily awareness, mental awareness will make you sick. It so happens, there are so many lovable people around me. I'm so fortunate. One keeps messaging me, oh, Lalita, you have so hectic as a work. You're so cramped, swamped with the work. He used to message. Every time he messages, oh, the work is hectic, the work is hectic, I have to reply him back, it is not hectic. It is not hectic. Once when you give the information to the brain, this is how our mind will work. Oh, I'm doing so much of work. I'm doing so much of job. It's so energy draining. I see many healers telling that. Energy draining is done only when you're attached with a name, form, be it yours, be it somebody else's. That is energy draining. This is energy restoration, aligning yourself in the center. Now coming back to the shloka, Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata. O Bharata, when the beings are coming from, originating from the unmanifested, and only seems to have been appearing in the middle, Avyaktanidhananyeva, it also goes back again in their end to the unmanifested. Tatraka paridevana, why do we have to lament? There's nothing that you have to lament about. Why is this person dying? Why am I dying? Why am I getting Alzheimer's disease? All these are not worth an issue to cry. You are eventually going back to our seats. If this is the way that we're going, this is it. If that would be the way, then that would be it. Yes. I recently visited Tiruvannamalai. Aarti knows it. It so happened that when I was there, she called me. Uh, there are many saints, living saints even now in Tiruvannamalai, the place where Ramana Maharshi uh, not hails from, has had his divine call, what to call as that inner magnetic pull of that inner being. So that's the place. Is this one other saint who's called Yogi Ram Surat Kumarji? He used to call Rama as his father. And for every question that is being put, he just gives one answer. It is only my father. There is only one, only my father. Nothing else exists. And then one serious disciple, look, this daughter-in-law is not making me live peacefully. She is giving all the tantrums. She is playing strategies to throw me out of my house and all those stuff. Yogiram Suryakumar laughingly replies, why do you have to worry about all these things? His father up is only one. Which means when there is only one divine that is existing, all that appearances of daughter-in-law troubling, you getting troubled, mind is in misery, mind making challenges that she is strategizing, all these so-called serial killer thrillers and serials. That's how our mind works fanatically. All these appearances are just nothing. You have to get it all over, done and dusted out of it. There's another story, a villager, again a saintly figure, always settled in his own self. He's been asked by his friend, why is that when you go out, you don't try to interact with people? You don't try on your own to get to know the people out. No, you have to do it. No, he laughed and replied, why should I do it? I don't know them. And then this friend who knows him well, oh, I know you well. You don't interact to your own people in the village, in your own village. Oh, why should I bother? I know them well. Huh? I'm not making you a saint, very inert. I'm not giving you that kind of, ambience. That ambience is not set here. I'm trying to give you a message that most of our activities are not ordained properly or not systematized properly. Many things we are doing just for the doing's sake. Many things that we do are sometimes very futile. We do not know why we are doing it. So be aware. Any activity that you do, be it speaking, be it uh, any arms activity, giving, any legs activity, walking or thinking, mm, any activity for that matter in your life, be aware, is it coming from your center? Is it springing from the heart? If it's springing out from the heart, it will always make you feel peaceful, spiritually progress you, also help in making the right seeds in the next unmanifested that we are moving into. That's all what it matters. What if there are people who has this deafening ears, even though we try to tell them, make them understand this high wisdom, make them understand, make them enable them to be powerful. Let them be. They will get their own chance. There's this character, Dhritarashtra. I've been mentioning about him a lot in Mahabharata. He's blind. Although he was blind, he was so fortunate having good companies, the greatest satsanga he had got. Vidura, supposedly his own brother, is the most wisest. In not a right adjective though, but that's how I should put him, the most wisest. He gives constant advice of how to be in the center, how to act. And he was amongst all good companies. His own brother, Pandu, again, a person well aligned in the center. There were there were many other, Sanat Kumara, many other rishis who came and advised him. It was Krishna who advised him. It happened many a time in the stories of Mahabharata. But every time he listens to Vedanta, he implicates Vedanta in his own way. No? Well, sometimes it so happens when you read translations of Ramayana, I call them as text torturers. They torture the text, beat the text in such a manner that the text bleeds bleeds open to the truths, what they know, what they want to, how they want to portray. You know? So that's how Dhritarashtra is. He takes his Vedanta in his own way. When Vidura comes and makes him understand, look, you have to speak to your incorrigible son. This is the heights of adharma, non-righteousness he is doing to people, he is doing to his own brethren. You know what Dhritarashtra is saying? Who is son? Who is father? Nobody is son, nobody is father. Such people also exist in this universe. We should not worry about them. Atmanam manushochhatvam. Like what Rama said, you worry, why aren't you still realized? That should be your only worry. Don't worry about your son, don't worry about your partner. No, that's not your worry. Ramana says, Vanda velayai par. That's in Tamil. You have to do the job for which you've come here. Do the job for which you've come here. Focus on that only job. That's a petty job that you've been entrusted with. How do you do it? Adi Shankaracharya says, there's this two Shakti, two powers. One is that veiling power, power to veil the truth. The second is the power to project. Both are very dangerous. Both are very dangerous. So he says, quieten your mind. Yogaha, chitta vritti nirodha. Quieten your mind. Boost your mind to the state of samadhi by quietening it. While you quieten, slowly what happens? The veil over the truth, the parda, the curtain over the truth is removed. Okay. What else? Not only that, you are simply more complex than what you've been thinking of. You have another power to project. You keep projecting. That is also, see, when idle meditators sit and then gives or writes huge experiences, I get to read some of that crap. I'm very sorry for my language. It so happens that uh, they are so trapped in their own mental projections and think them to be spiritual experiences, meditative experiences. So this is another disgusting power that we've got. So we have to win over the power to project. So curtailing the power that we have veiled over the truth, removing the power, disengaging the power to project. Both has to be done. That's what Adi Shankaracharya says. How do you do it? Paranchikani vetrat prabhu swayambhu tasmat paran pashyati kaschidiraha pratyagatmanamipyata. Only a few daring, strong, illumined ones could do that. What is the dare? Do I have to climb Everest? Oh, I can do that. Go inwards. Stop the shaking of your indriyas. The sense organs are always constantly shaking. Every time disturbing yourself, your mind. Stop that. Pratyagatmanamikshata avritta chakshuhu. You have an eye out, which can see things out. Yes. Let the eye watch inwards. Let it see inwards. What's happening within? Start from there. And slowly you will get answers. The lessons are from inside. Because wisdom is innate. It's never outside. It's not in the books. It's not available in YouTube videos. It's only inside. And why are you publishing in YouTube? Why are you speaking at all? Hmm? Then comes the next shloka, 2.29. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidенम्. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidенम्. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah. Ascharyavat chainamanyah shrunoti. Ascharyavat chainamanyah shrunoti. Shrutva pyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. Shrutva pyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. It is a wonder, it is a wonder, it is a wonder, it is a wonder. Krishna says. It is a marvel. Not those Marvel Avenger movies that we see. It is a marvel. It's an act of awe, excited wonder. What? To see how, through silence, the saints, Maharishis, disseminates this power of knowledge into the hearts of the disciple. How can I make you explain things? By speaking, right? And you by hearing. But this transmission of wisdom is happening like this, without speaking anything, without hearing anything, just by being. It is a wonder. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidенम्. Some try to see this particular illumined consciousness called self. And it is a wonder. Why? You can't see it. I was talking to Vivan and Veda, my kids, this morning. I started with this story. Veda, is this true? Something called multiverses. According to their language, we have to speak. She said, yes, Ma. You see so many Marvel movies. There's something called Doctor Stranger. And he moves from one multiverse to another and he sees many universes. And he sees himself in many universes. I said, okay. Is this only in the movie? No. It is still there. It's considered to be a junction in science. Christopher Nolan, another Hollywood director, makes so many movies, and everybody is always confused after watching his movies. It is really true, Ma. Is this something like this? Okay. Aren't you awestruck by it? She said yes. I said, when I was in class 6, when my physics teacher told me that the box, I had this blue pencil box, still remember that day, because it was something. The anubhuti was something in a physics class that I got. So I could replay that in my mind. So I had this sky blue box, and it was on the table. So he said, the blue box is floating in the space. The table that holds the box is also floating in the space. You, who are watching the box, is also floating in the space. Akasha Tattva. First time when I could relate what it can be, just by recognizing what is space. space that holds all matters, all beings. It gave me goosebumps. Vivan said, "It means, Mama, when you read Gita, it'll give you goosebumps every time." I said, "No, I don't know whether it gives goosebumps, but it sort of expands my vision." And then I told him that self is that which is much more subtle and ungraspable by your hand, by your eye, by your ear. You can't feel it. It is more subtle than the Akasha. He was also having his goosebumps today in the morning. His eyes were open, his eyebrows were up, and quietly closed his eyes. And then I started with this meditation of I exist, I exist, I exist. So there are certain things like hologram that we see in movies. There are certain things which seems to be unbelievable. How is a hologram? If I have to create Uli hologram in India besides me, there is no connection of Uli's molecules in him in the hologram. The air molecules that penetrate Uli's face, Uli's body. I can't bring him by my side. It's not the same molecules. But somehow I could create his hologram. I could feel his presence. Isn't it a wonder? When he moves his hands up, I can see him moving his hands. Isn't it a wonder? I don't know whether it is fictitious or definitely science technological advancement. But the thought itself gives you state of wonder. How do you perceive that which is non-perceivable? One who perceives the truth which is unperceivable. Isn't it wonder? This is really getting intense. But just go slow and bear with me for another 10 minutes. I think I'll be able to deliver the message right. You cannot speak about anything which is undescribable. Like I used to ask this usual question, what is the difference between the sweetness of a sugar cane and the sweetness of jaggery? Describe. Write an essay on it for 250 words. Can you? Can you? So go and have it. Go and eat, you'll know. How can a dumb explain the sweetness of a sugar cane? People get to the saints like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. I do not know whether I could justify this part. I've taken this example. I'm very sorry. I do not know whether I could justify this part of explaining this, what exactly happened. If I fail to, please bear with me. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a great devotee of Goddess Kali, the time, Goddess of time. You close his eyes, Mother is everywhere, in and out, his body, his molecule, his cell, everywhere, outside, inside. Even his wife, he sees as Mother, Mother Divine. No. Totapuri, a sage, a Vedantin, wants him to practice Vedantic meditation. Or not only Vedantic meditation, but to realize the reality. When you're stuck in some name and form, even though it is devotion, even though it is gods and goddesses, you're not yet there. Huh? So Totapuri comes up as his guru and then try to initiate him in practicalizing Vedanta. That's how I have to put it. So Thakur had Thakur had difficulties because when he closed his eyes, he could see nothing but vision of mother. He's so engrossed in mother's vision that Totapuri had to do a thing. He took a broken piece of glass and made a thrust over the forehead of his and then said, "Look, look, look on the beholder. Look on the seer. Look beyond. Om, om, om." That's it. Mother's vision gone. He was the seer. He was in this samadhi, nirvikalpa samadhi, without any blemish for lasting for 7-8 days. Totapari was astonished. Again, wonder how Advaita Vedanta is like a fruit falling on his lap. He could surpass even mother. He could surpass his devotional state. He could transgress himself, transcend to that higher state so easily. Again, a wonder. Wonder to the guru, wonder to the disciple. Everything is wonder. Asharyavat kaschin anyam anyashrunoti. One who hears this, like you hearing the story, we don't really get what exactly it is. Just by the broken piece of glass, you try to press thrust. Perhaps you might bleed. So to the listeners is also it is a wonder. This experiencing anubhuti is self-experience. Why? What is the matter? Why is it wonder? Why is it a wonder? Because there is no means. If I have to know physics, okay, physics books can be the means. Physics teacher, coaching, tuitioning, getting the tuitions is the means. But self-experience, there's no means. It is you, your experience. And this experience occurs on its own. Yamaivesha vrunute tena labhyaha. The self chooses the person whom it has to reveal itself. Again, a Shruti Vakya, again, an Upanishad statement. Strong and powerful. So it is a wonder. Shrutvapyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. We've been listening to Shri Krishna for about 19 weeks now, 20 weeks now. Do we realize it? That's what Krishna is saying. Even after listening to so much, there are some who don't get it, who don't get to realize it. That is a wonder. So what now? Stop listening. Stop doing the manana. Stop doing the vichara. Again, Veda Vakya says, I forgot the statement, but it so says the meaning is, unless until you get the peace, you acquire the peace of self-realization, you shouldn't stop. You shouldn't stop. That's why Swami says, arise, awake. You are living in a world of dream. Rise, awake. Stop not till the goal is reached. What is the goal? What is the goal? To become a chartered accountant, to become a doctor, to become a lawyer. The goal is this, Vandavele. The work that we have come for, entrusted with. The goal is that we have to realize ourselves, not as this body, not as this mind, and live life. Live life. There's so much more, but I'll end here.